I was a directing fellow for the National Endowment for the Arts that provided an opportunity for me to learn from other directors, the nature of the business.
I was in a children's theater company called the First All Children's Theater. And there are, places like that still where kids are going now. If you want to have a career in the arts, or even just to have a desire to perform.
This is because I wouldn't have gotten that if I hadn't started in theater when I was 8 years old. And I started theater in Chicago. My mother saw that I needed some sort of outlet because I wasn't in sports and I wasn't interested. I had nothing to do around the house. And she saw that theater and the fact that I was so fascinated with films like The Wizard of Oz and television and everything having to do with the arts and performing arts. And from that moment, my life changed. My life changed because of that small little theater.
There was a school trip, and it was funded by the state of New York. And they took us to go see The Wiz, starring Stephanie Mills. And when she started singing the song, "When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing," I just bursted out into tears.
I was on tour a couple years ago, and if you went to Greenville, South Carolina, or Durham, North Carolina, or downtown Los Angeles, old Las Vegas, you can see the impact of an arts center being created.
I was raised in a small community theater in Fresno, California, and they in Fresno at the time there was very little theater, and it was literally a sanctuary for those of us who loved theater.
Everyone did better in school. The grades were great. Everyone did well because we had an hour of dance or an hour of piano, an hour of drama, an hour of art.
The town is 1,500 people of the bravest warrior type kind of small business owners that depend on us.
We are vital. We are necessary. We are essential. And we've got to take care of these people.
Because of the PPP monies, we were able to retain staff and then also retain health insurance for them, which is hugely important right at this time. It let our community know that we were still here, that they could still connect to what we do.
It's all the artists in the country, really, that we're talking about that will benefit from this stimulus package.
All these ancillary parts of it, teachers, education, restaurants, hotels. That's why the arts are so important. They feed into everything.
We want to make sure that in the final product that the creative economy and the arts sector are supported.
Theater happens all over our country, in small towns, in places that I grew up in, Tallahassee, Florida, in Black communities, in brown communities, in white communities. And if we don't support this stimulus bill, then all of those artists will be left out of the picture without making a contribution to our country.
We can't show people that are thinking about having possibly their heart on a stage turn away from it, because we have stars and amazing people out there that are 5 years old and 6 years old that are about to see their first show. And I saw my first show when I was 8 years old, and my life fundamentally changed.
How small was the school that you were in when you first began?
It's a small, school in Southern California. And I literally think it saved my life. Like ballet and dance and the arts just made me into the person that I am.
We need all the help that we can get to go through this terrible time. And so, I saw that people I know that a lot of people say, we can't think about music and the art, we have other more important things. This is very important. This is extremely important on so many levels.
I only know there ain't no love at all without a song.
We'd like to see funding for the National Endowment for the Arts through this next relief bill that can help arts organizations, theater companies, Broadway theaters, and nonprofits across the country through extending the Paycheck Protection Program. But also there's help for individuals through hopefully extending the pandemic unemployment assistance.